Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are back with Never Surrender Ship Evolution, but today's going to be a little bit different video for today. I'm going to start with a time lapse. So let's get started.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
So in the time lapse, we built out the welding ship right here, and it's a large grid welding ship. We got rid of that multi-tool because it looked terrible, didn't really do too well. The new welding ship still looks like a tin can, unfortunately, but it maneuvers a little bit better, and it's really built around this large cargo container. So we changed the cockpit and everything like that here. So let's just bring this guy and back it out really quick so you can see exactly what I've done with it. And right now it's pretty heavy because it's holding a lot of interiors, I believe. Yeah, 46k of steel plates here. Alright, so a quick little tour. Basically, as I mentioned, we built around the large cargo containers. We put the ion thrust right back here. We have 3 on the left side, 3 on the right side, 4 forward, 4 backwards right here, and then 3 up and then 3 down, or vice versa in that case. And right behind it or inside it is 2 batteries and a gyroscope that's kind of placed over here as well. And one thing I did add is a reactor just to get some more power out of it. But I think we do need to add a little bit more batteries, especially when we're super filled with items. I think we redlined this thing. No. Okay. I think we're good then. We redlined it previously when we didn't have the reactor. So when I added the reactor, that changed everything, which is great. And the other piece of it is that the welders are attached to some pistons, so we can get to certain crevices as we need to. So we can reverse it and extend it and weld in this way, just so we can reach a little bit further we need to. The good thing is that we do have them separate, so we can just reverse one and just have that one stick in if we have to get to a really hard to reach spot in that case. I think I had to retract now. Okay, so there we go. So we have the retractable welding arms, and we could, if we really wanted to, make it modular. We could detach the heads of the piston if we really wanted to. I think you need to use build bridge to do that, and then attach the grinders instead. I mean, that's a possibility, likely not going to happen in this case, but that is something we can think about doing later down the line if we really want to get a multi-tool or a modular grinding welding ship. Although I don't think we're going to be doing a lot of grinding, but more welding, if anything. Yeah, so a bit of the design here. Lastly is the connector on the very bottom. It used to be right up front where we could connect it and connect into the ship here. But I had to flip it around a little bit to make it go downwards a little bit more, because it's connected to a connector or a conveyor junction right behind the cockpit. And the cockpit is not attached to anything whatsoever, so we're not going to get like any O2 out of it, oxygen out of it, or whatever it is out of it that we need. But we don't plan to stay in the ship for very long when we're welding up the entire thing here. So far I welded up a bit of the arm here as well, and we ran out of metal grids. So one of the main reasons why I did the time lapse first is to spend some time on building the ship is 1. 2, we had to wait for a whole bunch of materials to be built, especially our metal grids and our steel plates. So we're still waiting for that. We have a bunch now, but still not enough for the whole entire ship, so we're going to build more and more as we go. And 3, unfortunately I can't really talk too much because I have a really bad cough, so I'm going to keep the video a bit short, unfortunately, for today. But at least we evolved the welding ship in this case. It's not a multi-tool anymore, but it works out as a welding ship. In some ways we could weld this whole entire thing up. Ow. That was dumb. Anyways, like I was saying, we could weld up the whole entire ship with just steel plates and do the metal grids later, but it's going to be really hard to see where I missed that. So when I started to weld this up, I think we missed a little bit with the metal grids right here. So it welds up fine, but yeah, you don't see that it's missing metal grids, and it's probably not going to give us that extra protection that we're looking for anyway. So we're going to have to wait for that. I think we're gonna have to bump up the production a little bit more in the ship itself. So I guess we can touch on a little bit of a evolution on the ship of the main base is to add additional assemblers. I added an assembler right in here. Yeah, right here, just to make more steel plates and metal grids. But I think we're gonna do some temporary ones, so we might have to block this entryway. Although I could probably put some in here if I had to. Yeah, I could probably put something right here and on this side, because it could connect it off of this one. We turn it into a T-shaped one. Yeah, we could do that, and we could probably keep it that way as well. So let's grab an assembler. Let's grab 2 more. We're gonna need it because it's gonna take very long to produce everything that we need. So here we can connect the assembler from the bottom port right over there, and we can do the same on the other side. And then of course we use a connector to connect that from there. So let's see. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good spot to add one. Curious why I didn't think of using the spot a little sooner. And we could also put a speed mod at least in the front side. I mean, a better placement would be... Yeah, there's no real good placement because we can't add too much mods on it because of the spacing that we have. So I'm okay with putting it here. So I'll put one there, and then we're gonna put one here, and we're gonna change up these spots right here, and we're probably using a T-shape or maybe not. We just can use, yeah, we could use, actually we could use a T-shape. That works out pretty well. So we put the T-shape here. We're gonna have to put a T-shape here. Well, we don't need a T-shape here, but we could add it just for fun. There we go. And we'll just weld that up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave, oop, that was too much. I'm gonna leave this a little open so I can use the port here, and I can extract these parts a lot quicker. Okay, so I'm not sure what I was thinking using T-shapes. That does not work out. So we're gonna have to use a conveyor junction or conveyor junction pipe. I have to use conveyor junction pipe, like so. So then I should be able to grab everything I need from here, or not. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Not sure why I can't grab a lot of stuff. Maybe because of the piping I just took off. And likely, I think. So we got one done. Now we just gotta get the second one done. Wish there were more ports that I can reach to instead of going back and forth, but it's alright. This one's done anyways. I don't need to grab anything. Perfect. So we have 2 more assemblers, which is exactly what we need. Do we want to add speed mods? We could if we want to. Let's just do it just to speed up just a little bit. So we add the speed mod here. And of course we added a speed mod right over here. And these could be temporary. We don't have to keep these here if we don't want to. They could just be temporarily for the purpose of creating more materials for us. So with the production of these, I guess we could do enable cooperative mode. Same with 3. And these will generate as we go. So is that working out pretty well? It looks like it's grabbing for the metal grid, so it's good. But I kind of want to build a little more steel plates as well, because we're going to need a whole bunch of them. And I guess we could just queue up a little bit more of the thruster components as well, and just leave it as that. So we'll let that run. I think we should change one of these assemblers to 1 instead of having them both as 2. Which I think I have it right in the first place. Yes. Okay. We're good to go. So that's going to take a bit to run and gather the material. I mean, I could probably sleep on it and wake up and it should be all here. So yeah, that's going to be queued up, produced, and we're just going to have to wait and kind of go from there. I don't want to continue to build more without welding up as much as I can, because I kind of want to see what it looks like all welded up before we continue with some more designing of it. I'm good with the arms except for the thrusters. I'm gonna have to move those a little bit. So there's always that. The top portion is where I want to design a little bit more, but I really want to weld it up a little bit more before I do anything more. And of course, these little things here right in front, I want to build these out more too, just to see how that's going to work. Yeah, but either way, I got to work around kind of the thrusting in the bottom here. So I'm okay with the front and back thrust. The upward thrust is fine. The downward thrust, I'm struggling with. Kind of want to spread them out a little bit better. And the side thrust, I think we're okay there too. So I don't know. We'll just gotta put it all together and see what it looks like. I'm leaving these for last, the thrusters, just so we can see what it looks like, because we still need to plumb things up in the inside arms just to get the weapons out and ready in front, over here, and over here. We could also put some weaponry out here, although it's not gonna kind of balance out. Yeah, unfortunately. I should have spread it out 3 down instead of 2 down. 3 down would have gave us a better look with turrets. Don't think that's gonna matter, because we're gonna put turrets on top and on the bottom, and that's gonna cover the sides anyways. So should be okay. In terms of maneuvering the railgun, or the railgun here, that's gonna be an interesting process, because this thing is pretty heavy and it's really hard to maneuver to begin with. So we'll see how that kind of goes, but I think the large thruster additions should help out a little bit. We could think about putting large hydrogen on this thing instead, but then we got to carry a lot of hydrogen in order to move this thing. So I don't know. We definitely could expand this a little bit more, or make it longer if we have to, so we could include more thrust. But yeah, so unfortunately today's gonna be a shorter one, and not much more going on. It's just pretty much waiting for the productions right now. Our welder ship looks fine. I mean, we could make a grinding ship similar to this by just copying and pasting in terms of projector, and then just weld it up. That's an idea too. Or we just make something completely different. One thing I've been thinking about doing is a grinder that's spinning on a rotor to grind some things down, like a saw or a circular saw. Although that's not going to work out very well. It's just a random idea I wanted to try at one point in time, which is likely going to break stuff more than grind things down. At least this thing's now got a nice, decent little look to it. Nothing too crazy. And it's got a bit of a home in the back of the ship, so we can land this guy here. And then once we get all our metal grids, we can start welding up more of the ship, and I'm hoping we can get that done soon. It is going to take some time to wait for the production, obviously, but the welding itself is going to take quite some time too. As you see, we only got pretty much a bit of a quarter, maybe a quarter to a half of the left arm, and then we still got to work on the right arm and start building out the bottom parts of the base shell as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick one, a mix of a time lapse and a walkthrough of the ship so far. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.